pick for this upcoming fight between Marlon Vera and Cory Sandhagen. So these two guys are great strikers and now they're facing off each other. So Cory Sandhagen is a guy who I believed that he will be a champion in the division if he fixes up his wrestling and improves his grappling. And Marlon Vera is a guy who has surprised us in the past by beating, Sean O'Malley and by finishing Dominic Cruz. So great fight between both these guys, and let's get started. So here I have the stats of these two guys. If we start with Marlon Vera, so he has 28 fights, 20 wins and 7 losses, 1 draw. Out of the 20 wins, he has 8 by knockout, 8 by submission and 4 by decision. So most of his wins have come via finish and not via decision. If we talk about the 7 losses, all of those 7 losses have come via decision. So if this guy is gonna lose, it's gonna be a decision loss, and he has never been finished as a pro. And he has finished a lot of guys. As you can see, he has 8 wins by finishes and 8 wins by knockout and another 8 wins by submission. So really solid record for this man right here. Now let's look at Cory Sandhagen. So he has 19 fights, 15 wins and 4 losses. By knockout 7 wins, by submission 3 wins, by decision 5 wins. So he has had more knockouts and decisions than submissions. Now if we talk about the 4 losses, none have come via knockout, 1 has come via submission. This was in the Aljamain Sterling fight, and 3 have come via decision. So pretty, I would say the record of Marlon Vera is pretty balanced. He has knockouts, he has submissions and very few decisions. So this guy is pretty explosive and he has the power to finish you via punches. Whereas if we talk about Cory Sandhagen, he has the knockout power, but submission skills, I don't think he has the submission skills to finish this man right here, Marlon Vera. So I don't think Cory will be able to submit Cheeto, but he is good and he has fought a lot of, high caliber fighters like Peter Yan in the past. So he has the, I will say, advantage in experience. Now let's look at some of the career stats of these two guys. So if we talk about the height, 5 feet 8 inches for Marlon Vera and 5 feet 11 inches for Cory Sandhagen. So Cory is a very tall guy for 135. I think he is the tallest out of all the guys right now on the roster, and he will have a 3-inch height advantage. Weight is even for both these guys at 135 pounds. Reach is 70 inches for Marlon Vera and 70 inches for Cory Sandhagen. So I'm not sure if this is really accurate, but assuming it is, so nobody will have a reach advantage. Even though Cory Sandhagen has a 3-inch height advantage, he does not have a reach advantage. Stance, both fighters are switch stance fighters, so both are really good on the feet. They are good southpaw as well as orthodox. If we talk about the age, so both are similar age, born in 1992. So I believe Cory Sandhagen is slightly older, but not much. So I don't think age will be a factor in this. Now let's talk about some of the striking statistics between these two guys. So if we talk about the strikes landed per minute, this signifies the number of significant strikes that you are able to land on your opponent per minute on average. So that is 4.28 for Marlon Vera, whereas it is 6.15 for Cory Sandhagen. So Sandhagen will have an advantage. He is able to land more strikes on his opponents per minute. Striking accuracy is 50% for Marlon Vera, whereas it is 44% for Cory Sandhagen. So striking accuracy advantage goes to Marlon Vera. Strikes absorbed per minute, this signifies the number of strikes that you absorb from your opponent per minute on average. That is 5.01 for Marlon Vera, whereas it is 4.21 for Cory Sandhagen. So in this case, the lesser number is better because you are able to absorb less strikes from your opponent. So again, an advantage goes to Cory Sandhagen in this department. Striking defense is 51% for Cheeto Vera and 56% for Cory Sandhagen. So pretty even for both these guys, but slight advantage again goes to Cory Sandhagen. So overall, if we talk about the striking, these 4 indicators, we have that Cory Sandhagen is a slightly better striker compared to Marlon Vera, and if you have seen the fight of these two guys, you know that this is actually true. So Cory Sandhagen is an elite striker in my opinion. He's really good, and whereas Cheeto is also really great, but he also has submissions, and I think because of that he's not able to bring out his striking. However, I believe he also has the power. Whereas if we talk about Cory Sandhagen, so I don't think he has the grappling or the wrestling of Marlon Vera. Let's see. So now let's talk about some of the wrestling, grappling and submission statistics. So takedown average is 0.68 for Cheeto Vera, whereas it is 0.71 for Cory Sandhagen. So both these guys are pretty even, but slight advantage goes to Cory Sandhagen. Takedown defense is 42% for Cheeto Vera and 20%, just 20% for Cory Sandhagen. So advantage goes to Marlon Vera in this. Takedown defense is 68% for Marlon Vera, whereas it is 63%. So again, both these guys are pretty even, but slight advantage goes to Marlon in this as well. Submission average is 1.1 for Marlon Vera, whereas it is 0.4 for Cory Sandhagen. So a huge advantage goes in the submission department to Marlon Vera. We know he's a good submission guy. We can see that from his record. He has 8 wins by submission. Whereas if we talk about Cory Sandhagen, he just has 3 wins. And so on the ground, I think Cory Sandhagen is better overall. If we talk about all these 4 indicators of wrestling, grappling and submission, I believe on the ground Marlon Vera will have an advantage, and on the feet Cory Sandhagen will have an advantage. This is the story of the fight, and you can watch any video of any breakdown of this fight. Everybody will tell you that on the feet the advantage goes to this guy right here, and on the ground it goes to this man. If you see the odds for this fight, so Cory Sandhagen is an favorite at -165 and Marlon Vera is an underdog at +140. Do I agree with these odds? Let's see. Now let us look at some of the past performances of both these guys, starting with Marlon Vera. So in his last fight he KO'd Dominic Cruz, which was a great win for his resume in the 4th round. So this guy is able to KO not just in the 1st or 2nd round, but in the later rounds as well. He KO'd Dominic Cruz, who's really the best bantamweight in the UFC ever, and he KO'd him in the 4th round via head kick. So this guy has the power to knock anybody out. Before that he won a unanimous decision against Rob Font. This was in a 5-round battle, so he has had some 5-round experience as well. And before that he KO'd Frankie Edgar via front kick. We have all seen highlights of this. This was in the 3rd round, so this man is able to KO you in the 3rd and 4th round as well. Before that he won a unanimous decision against Davy Grant in a 3-round fight, and before that he lost to the legend Jose Aldo in a 3-round fight back in 2020. So this is his most recent loss. And if we talk about the fight before, so I think we've again all seen this fight. This was the fight against Sean O'Malley where he TKO'd Sean O'Malley in the 1st round itself. So this is a rematch that is waiting for Cheeto Vera, and if he gets beat by Cory Sandhagen, then he can probably rematch Sean O'Malley. This is a huge fight. It will sell because there is a rivalry between these two guys. And now comes the interesting fight, which is Song Yadong. He lost a unanimous decision to Song Yadong, and this was not that long ago, just 3 years, almost 3 years ago. This was in a 3-round fight and he lost a unanimous decision. Now we'll see Song Yadong in this man's resume as well. Now let's talk about Cory Sandhagen's resume. So in his last fight he beat Song Yadong via TKO doctor stoppage in the 4th round. I think this is the reason why a lot of people are picking him, because they are seeing this fight and saying that look, Song Yadong was finished by Cory Sandhagen, but he actually beat Cheeto Vera. So here you can see he beat Cheeto Vera by unanimous decision back in 2020. So I think a lot of people are looking at this fight and thinking that because Song Yadong got beat by Cory Sandhagen and he was able to beat Cheeto Vera, so maybe this man will win. And before that he lost a unanimous decision to Peter Yan in a 5-round fight. This was a great fight in my opinion, and in the initial rounds of this fight actually I had Cory Sandhagen winning, I think I gave him the first round, but then Cory Sandhagen stopped moving laterally, and because of that, I think Petr Yan was able to capitalize on him and show everybody why he's really elite and why so many people respect Petr Yan, even though he is not doing good recently, but still a lot of hardcore fans support Petr Yan. Before that, if we talk about, he lost to TJ Dillashaw via split decision. In this fight again, I think he was doing good in the striking department. Yes, TJ Dillashaw beat him, but I think he beat him because of his wrestling and takedowns. So it's not like Cory Sandhagen was getting beat in the striking. He got beat because of his lack of wrestling, and this is one area where I feel that if Marlon Vera has to win, he has to take advantage of the lack of wrestling, takedown defense, grappling of Cory Sandhagen, because otherwise I have not seen a lot of guys beat this man in the striking department, and this includes legends like Petr Yan, TJ Dillashaw and Marlon Moraes, all these guys. Before that, if we talk about, he KO'd Frankie Edgar, really 2 KOs of Frankie Edgar, pretty sad for this legend in the first round itself. Marlon Moraes, and also this guy KO'd Frankie in the third, whereas this man did it in just 1 round, so keep that in mind. Before that, if you talk about Marlon Moraes, he TKO'd in the second round. So Marlon, which is a really good explosive guy in the division, got KO'd by Cory Sandhagen in the second round. And before that, the only submission loss of Cory Sandhagen came when Aljamain Sterling, the reigning bantamweight champion, finished him via rear naked choke in the first round. So this man has some, I will say, holes in his wrestling, grappling, submissions, BJJ. So that is an issue. And if we talk about the fight before that, he beat Rafael Assunção by unanimous decision in a 3-round fight. So overall, I'll think both these guys have solid resumes. Both these guys have the power to knock anybody out on the feet. What is the difference maker is that I believe Chito Vera has better submissions, whereas Cory Sandhagen is lacking some of that wrestling defense, which we saw in the TJ Dillashaw fight, which we saw in the Aljamain Sterling fight. So the only way I think this man beats Cory Sandhagen is via a sub. So I don't think he'll be able to outstrike Cory Sandhagen on the feet. So it really comes down to either him wrestling Cory for 5 rounds, which requires an immense gas tank, and something which we have not seen from Chito Vera. So I don't think Chito has that Colby style of fighting or Merab style of fighting. So he doesn't have that. I don't think he will be able to take down Chito Vera again and again, round after round, like Merab did against Petr Yan. So I think he will have to take him down in a round and finish him there. But in any other case, if it goes to a decision or if the fight ends in a knockout, I will have to pick this man. So I think he has the better striking. He has the height advantage. Yes, Chito Vera has the submission edge, but I think this man, because he knows that the only edge that Chito Vera has is in the submission, so he's expecting a takedown. So I think if he prepared correctly for this fight, he would have drilled a lot of takedown defense, and I think that will really come in handy for this fight. If he improves his takedown defense, I don't think Chito Vera will have an easy time taking him down, and because of that, Cory Sandhagen might win a unanimous decision. I am picking him to win via UD. So I don't think he'll be able to finish Chito Vera. Chito Vera has never been finished via knockout or via sub. So I'm picking him to win via unanimous decision. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. I'll see you guys in the next one.